You know what? I was thinking about this, and
You
I
caught it.
realized this argument is null and void about fault. This is gonna go back and forth. Um, I noticed that the people that do the best with child rearing and marriage and all of that, they we all try to do what's ideal, right? We say marry for you carry, put a ring on that woman's finger or whatever. That's what's ideal. That's not the way it works for most humans on earth. They set up a plan for what happens after you fuck up. That's what most people do. And then the people of the culture or the ethnic group, they follow that plan. That's usually what people do. Most of our mamas and daddies got married because my daddy got the woman pregnant and somebody told him what he had to do after and he listened. So I really think that's more of what happens. Like a lot of the people that got their stuff together, they were just obedient to whatever they had to do after they messed up. I don't think a lot of people, especially American people, are willing to do that. I think we seek to establish control after we make mistakes so we can keep making have the freedom to make more mistakes. But on the issue of kids, let's say to DJ's point, I accept full responsibility. I accept responsibility for getting a woman pregnant. It is all my fault. Why can't I have custody of the kids? Is that on the table? Because I will never accept responsibility without authority.
Yes, it's on the table.
Most
Take
men
this
don't want
as.
that, but that is
No,
on the
no, no.
table.
We're not going to talk about what men want because guess what, Coco? The women don't want the damn kid either. If we really want to talk about it, the kid was supposed to come with the man. So if the man is not there, remember, women abuse children more than men do. Okay, the women don't want the kid either. So let's not talk about what anybody wants. Like I said, after after the sex has happened, we have to create a system in which how we're going to do best by that child. So forget about what we want. It's not about what the dad wants. It's not about what the mom wants. It's about what's in the best interest of the child. So why don't we change the conversation to giving fathers custody? Because I'm ready to take responsibility for everything, but I got to have the authority. It's my fault. Cool. Run me my kids. I ain't paying child support no more. Why isn't that a discussion?
Because again, a lot of men don't think like you. A lot of women are fine with giving men custody. Men don't want it.
Can
They
you
want
show
another
us
family with somebody else. They want
statistics
to
on
just
that?
pay child support and start a family with someone else.
You show us the number that a lot of men don't think like Trigger Mike.
I didn't say a lot don't. I said a lot. I didn't say a lot do. I said a lot don't. A lot of men don't fight for custody. They have the right to. It's always been on the table. They don't take advantage of it.
What if I told you black men lead out of all of the races fighting for custody, according to statistics?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think most women put it like give it to their father because a lot of fathers like they not really doing good. Like when they're usually most fathers in this situation, they're usually not doing good, or
Whoa, wow,
no,
wow.
they
Can you
not.
show us that?
Based on what? Based on what?
You said based on what?
Yeah, what are you
Well,
base? What are y'all be basing
I'm
this
not gonna.
on?
I didn't mean to say most.
They be
I'm sorry.
playing
I
fucking
apologize.
video
Choose
games or
my
some
words
shit. The
carefully. Let me
Sims or
choose my
something.
words carefully. Some fathers, some fathers, they're like they don't have something stable or something concrete. I think some women be scared because if they've been a victim of sexual abuse of any kind, or if they know anybody who's been a victim of sexual abuse, that could be another reason. But I think that more men should step up and prove, especially if the woman is at his pockets and they can't do it and they just using it as a meal ticket, because like women do that too. If men know they're doing that, then prove yourself to be a good provider. Go to the court and get your baby. It's like why enough men aren't doing it.
So, do the women
That
find
part
out this
died.
man is not a good enough father to father the children before she
Well, you
busts it
said
open?
what?
Or is the men, is the women finding out that these men can't be an adequate father or leader before they bust it open or after they have the child?
Based on the like younger women I've talked to, because my brother has dealt with this a few times when it comes to women, when I'm hearing their thought process behind these things, it don't really seem like they honestly know how to choose a man. And that's because they never had a man to teach them. So
Yeah.
And wait,
Let me say
and
this
Wow.
too.
you also mentioned that it's a lot of women that are behaving like that because they were SA'd, but that's a very small percentage of women. Even when you bring up attempts, it's less than 15% of
No,
women.
you can't judge that based on statistics because it's not a lot of women coming out saying it happened. Those are
So
the
what? So
women
what?
that's
So what are we
confident
basing it
enough to
on then?
say no, because it's
If you
too
can't do
many
it off
women that's not,
statistics, then what are we basing it on?
because it's not enough women coming out saying
Well, you
what
have to
happened
have
to
some
them. And
type of
this
a
is from a
benchmark. You
woman's
can't just.
standpoint. This is from a woman's standpoint. Somebody who know people and somebody just this is just coming from a woman's standpoint. A lot of women don't speak about it. It
Well,
happened
let's
to
What
just
is?
a lot of
well
women
let's
when you're
Nah.
younger. It
hold
happened
on,
to a
Trey.
lot of women in schools. It happened to them in work environments, and a lot of
No,
women are
let
not
Trev go at it
comfortable
for a
because
minute,
of how
Swinton.
Oh
much
no,
it's
no, no.
downplayed. So
This
those
is
numbers are not going to be as accurate as what you think they
you have
are.
to make it real to them. Then okay, Di. Out of all the women that you know that have kids, because you're saying that a lot of women don't report this. So I just want to ask you, out of all the women that you know that have kids, what percentage of them would you say is because they were raped,
You said because they were who?
raped, or forced to?
I didn't say they were raped to have, I mean, sorry, that word. I said they probably experienced it in their childhood. They probably experienced something similar. So when you experience that coming from a certain gender, it's just like how you say with
Oh, I
with
see
white
what you
men. If all white men not bad, but you are going to take certain precautions when it comes to men. We all know this.
All right, so but that's the thing though, is that the problem is that this is how things get mixed up because you're talking about their experience versus what actually is. So
No,
when you say something, and maybe you did misspoke, maybe you did misspeak when you said that. What you just said earlier was that, and I'm assuming this is what Trevor's responded to, that most of these women are having children and they're being raped when this happens. And he
no,
said,
that's not the way I'm
okay,
saying it.
okay,
That's not the
You were
way I'm
saying it. You
saying
were
it.
saying because of their
I'm saying it.
experiences
Yes,
that
of
they,
being
that could have happened in the
SA'd is
past.
is
Yes,
what impaired
that's
their
what I'm
judgment.
saying.
okay,
But
Yes, and
what
not
I'm
even
saying, but
just
what
that.
I'm
It
saying is
just
that
makes you on the defense when you hear about stories where women like, oh, I never thought it would happen to me, or I never thought it would be him. It just makes you always on the defense as a woman, and not even just like a hard defense where you just completely pushing the man out. But if we're not gonna be together and you turned out to be a man that I didn't think you would do certain things to me, not even as far as that, but just anything morally, just if I believed you was a certain character and now I realize you're not that character, I'm going to question almost everything about you. I'm going to be like, okay, dang, I messed up. Not saying I was in that position, but if I was in that position, I'm going to question everything about you and make sure that my kids are safe. And I'm not saying this is the main reason. Y'all ask, why do women not give their children to men? I said one, for a meal ticket. I brought that up. I brought up the fact that they can, they might not feel safe. This wasn't just something to attack women. This is just for y'all to understand where some women may be coming from when they don't want to give the child to the father.
why do you
So I
think?
just want to do something to make sure we stay responsible on these airwaves because this is we cannot make essay gender specific. I learned that working in behavioral and I learned that in the Navy. All right. Essay is not gender specific. As a matter of fact, in some instances, it happens to men more. Can I explain why? Because as they get older, men get assaulted by men and women, whereas women just get assaulted by men. So that's why I'm like, we don't want to play the comparative suffering game because it's a slippery slope. And so the same reason you said a
I
woman
can't
wouldn't
believe
want to
you
give a
just
man
really
his children, a man might
fresh and
have the
fit. That's
same
what this
reason.
is. Fresh and fit.